House Party 4, I think, is immature.
It's immature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kid and Play's not even in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nowhere near it.
And then before this one, because this is what really confused me about 2023, they made another House Party reboot that was just called House Party that came out in like 2017 or
I've never
like,
seen that.
and it was like when I heard they were rebooting it again, I was like, didn't you just reboot House Party? Like, you're okay, So, but like by the time 2023 comes out, it's like they've done like House Party is almost like a Nightmare on Elm Street, or one of those where it's just like they just keep
Yeah.
making it again and again and again, kind of to diminish. I mean, definitely to diminishing returns once you get to House Party 4, but like, it's so far removed that Kid and Play aren't even associated with the film anymore. Like it's House Party, the franchise.
Right. It almost becomes like a lampoon of itself at this
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious, Jordan, how you felt. Okay, let me just tell y'all real quick. I did not like House Party 2023. Like it was not good. Okay, it wasn't the worst film I've ever seen, but it also wasn't good. I didn't leave that film feeling good. So that's probably the reason why I didn't think I was going to like the House Party 1990 again.
Yeah.
I'm like, child, I'm going to rewatch it after watching House Party 2023, which I hadn't seen until getting ready for this.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but I left House Party 2023 not really interested in any of those characters, like at all. I was not invested in them.
Yeah.
I didn't find them interesting. I didn't find the premise funny. I didn't laugh a lot. I might have laughed once with the the white man and the koala. Yeah.
High koala, yeah.
The high koala.
They weren't likable. Kid and Play was likable. The actors from this movie were not likable at all. There was just nothing, like J. Ray said, there was just nothing to take away from this or to be endeared to in this movie. It just felt like we're watching a couple scammers, try to get away with something.
Literally, like you're breaking and entering in a man's house. Like, what? For clout. What? Yeah. What?
Can I tell you? So when it came on HBO Max, on a whim, I was just like, all right, stream it. Let's see what's up. Because I was very confused by the trailers. LeBron seems to just be remaking movies from his childhood that he enjoyed and was like, what if I was in it though? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That seems to be his pitch to the studio. It's like, what if this movie, but also me, right? And the thing, so here's the thing that I think 2023, because what I'm confused about most is like, what makes House Party the original so fun and so relatable is that, yes, Kid and Play are not teenagers. They're not in high school. But that's what it's about, right? Like, it's about kids getting into trouble and shenanigans. It is an accessible movie because it is something that you could see yourself or your friends getting into. Somehow sneaking into LeBron James's house to have a house party with celebrities is like a funny like SNL idea, but like for a movie seems like not enough meat on the bone. And the second thing is, no offense to the stars and the leads of the movie, but the thing about Kid and Play is that, one, you knew who those people were, and two,
yes.
And it's not to say that the two leads in this movie are like nobodies that nobody should even, you know what I mean? But like, because I think one of them is in The Blackening, and like, you know what I mean? Like I think one of them was on Snowfall, or if I'm not mistaken. But
Power, I think Power went.
Power, yeah, it's Power. And so like, they're around, but it's like Kid and Play were a duo, right? And that's why I was like, this would have been the perfect time to say, why don't we get city girls and make them,
that would have been fun.
take it to Miami. It could be a similar
Yes,
situation where maybe they
that.
are not scammers, but they're like an up
Yeah.
and coming rap
Rap
group that
group.
are trying to get people's attention. And so they do like this
Hilarious.
viral house party situation where, you can lean into the social media and all that or whatever. And it just gets so crazy that like Cardi B shows up or like, what,
Yes.
like how, like it
Yeah,
just, the party starts to get out of control. And it was just supposed to be like a fun little thing, but then it exploded into whatever, right? And so like it's a very simple concept, but like I think they overshot because the other weird thing about this the new
I know what
movie
you're gonna say.
is so many of the jokes are, well, not even just the jokes. It's like if people aren't talking about LeBron James, they are talking like adjacent, like it's LeBron adjacent. So like they're always mentioning him in some way or like his championship rings or something like that. And it feels like out of nowhere. Like I know you're technically in the man's house, but like people will
yeah.
just start talking about LeBron coming back down 3-1. Yeah. It's just like what does this have to do with the movie that I'm watching?
At all. So, one, I think you're very generous by saying that there were jokes in the movie. Two, um, now that you said it, I can't get the idea out of my head of Baps meets House Party with the City Girls.
Hilarious.
That's a no brainer and
You
could
have
have
to flip it
really,
with the genders. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand why
yeah,
this wasn't two women. Like that's
yeah.
exactly what it
And
should have
then
been.
and I just want to listeners, one of our listeners is participating live, just to drop something in the chat that I think is very, just wraps this up. It's like House Party 2023 had no cultural anchor,
Mm.
purpose, or connection. It's wasted space. And that's from
Mhm.
Dr. Ed Garnes, who's in the chat. But yes, absolutely right. And can we talk about the weird Illuminati
That
running joke? It was just,
Yeah.
just
I thought that's where you were gonna
I
go, Jordan. I hated that so much. I was
Well,
like, what movie is this now?
Kid Cudi was maybe the only bright spot in the movie because I think
Mhm.
Kid Cudi knew what movie he was in and
Right.
was just
right,
like, "All right, you want me to do what now? All right, I'll lean into that." Like the two leads are, and I don't want to blame it on them specifically because I think both of them are talented in their own right, but they were miscast, and on top of that, were given so little character to play
mm, yeah,
that both of them kind of just exist to get you from point A to point B,
Mhm.
right? Like there's I don't really care about this guy's music or this guy's party promoting business. Like these are two things. As again, specifically, if you're like 15, 16, like that doesn't mean anything to you. Like that's just like two grown-ups who still live with their parents and can't seemingly do anything, like have no particular
right.
skills. Like they're just kind of these bummy dudes, like just hoping to catch a break. It's like, I don't think that's a main character I'd want to aspire to be. I want to be Kid or Play.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get into.
But I will say, glad you brought that up, Jordan. Before we came on, I was talking to J Ray about that point that the creators of this reboot wanted to appeal to the sensibilities of this generation, and this generation is very much about being main characters,
Mhm.
and and living with main character syndrome. And I think maybe that's what they were trying to do with these two gentlemen in the movie. Like, they were definitely trying to be the main characters within the main characters of a movie.
I guess
Kind of really,
so.
I'm reaching here maybe, but I'm
Sure.
just trying to have, just throw out a little lifeline to them. Like, maybe that's what they were trying to do, is trying
Yeah.
to appeal to the sensibilities of the social media, the Gen Zers, and try to
Mm.
bring them along. But they totally missed the mark by not giving them some type of historical context.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah.
yes, now so they threw in Kid and Play in the Illuminati scenes. They just threw them
Right.
in there just as a anchor, I guess, a historical context.
I
But
guess.
if you're 16,
You don't
17,
even know who that
you don't know who they
is.
are, because Kid and Play Kid doesn't even look like Kid. He's not Eraserhead
No.
anymore. So yeah, it for me, like J Ray, I was left completely unfazed by the movie. I didn't receive any kind of joy from it. The characters were not likable. The women who were cast as the love
I
interests
felt terrible for
com-
them.
completely like wasted. They were
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
one-dimensional characters. It was just really sad. So yeah, sad
Yeah.
house party.
But LeBron got
Down.
to play basketball for 3 minutes.
And show up.
They
So this
showed
was
the
a
whole game.
so this was a LeBron circle jerk, right? Is this
Mhm.
was it what we're saying? This was a circle jerk for LeBron.
For
When
LeBron.
that game started, I thought they were gonna show like the initial thing and then cut to him like getting dunked on for like 21. They showed every point.
They did.
Yeah.
I was
It
like, why is this
was,
going on for so long?
but that was, but I think they just didn't have a ton of ideas. That's why I think the whole Illuminati thing happened. Cause I'm like, this is the plan. This is the plan. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But when the head, it just got wild and confusing. So
Yeah.
um, Up, I do think House Party 1990 is absolutely still relevant.
For sure.
I've watched it and I got as much joy as I did when I was 12. And
Mhm.
that is rare. That is completely rare. So yeah, it's a 34 year gap. And I still got joy. This film, the 2023 version, they could have kept that. That was not good at all.
Yeah.
Really bad money grab.